It's now time for On the Line with Cheryl Wilkerson. The conversation will range from local dialogue to international. This show is meant to enlighten, inform, and to inspire. On the Line with Cheryl Wilkerson begins now.
Hello and welcome to On the Line. I'm your host, Cheryl Wilkerson. I'm always thankful that you all join the show. I think you'll be excited about today's show. I was, because we're going to get a read on. And to that end, we welcome to the show Monique Robinson. She's with Positive Vibes Bookstore. Actually, it's more than a bookstore, but we'll get into that later. Positive Vibes is 6220 Indian River Road, right there in Virginia Beach. Welcome to On the Line, Monique. How are you today?
I am outstanding. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, I have been slack with my reading, and that's why I said, you know what, I've got to get back on track. And then I was thinking maybe some other people need to get back on track as well. And I said, you know what, we're going to Positive Vibes because, you know, Brett has been such a wonderful influence in this community for so many years. Positive Vibes been around, what, 20, 25 years, something like that?
26 years, going on 27, yep.
26 going on 27 years. And people go into Positive Vibes and they fall in love with Positive Vibes. And so we are pleased to have you here. So first and foremost, are people still reading?
Most definitely they are, yes.
I'm so happy to hear you say that because, you know, being at the radio station, especially with these 20-year-olds, I've noticed that I prefer to get, if I've got to do a news report or something, I want to read it. They want to watch a video. Right. That drives me up a wall. They're like, Miss Cheryl, watch this. And I'm like, and the time I'm sitting there watching that, I could have read it. But I guess it's just that generational thing, but it drives me up a wall. And the other thing is, they'd rather watch the video. And this is not to be harsh or anything, but many times I'll tell them to read a story and then recount it to me. They can't do it. And then I realize because they really didn't read it. They might skim it.
Wow.
But they're not reading. So that's why I asked you, are people reading? So what age group do you see reading? All ages?
All ages. Yes, indeed. Anywhere from your beginners. You see them coming in, getting books for newborns, you know, starting them off with the board books. So yes, definitely all ages.
That is beautiful. And those are some of the most beautifully illustrated books, the ones for the babies, right?
Right, indeed.
Oh my goodness. And so you see the teens in the 20s coming in there, they're coming to buy books?
Well, you know, the teens do come, and that's probably the age bracket that we see less of. But they come looking for the chapter books, and then you get those ones that are on that path of knowledge that want to know, where do I begin? So you do get them, but granted, that is the age group that is the least that comes in, which is ironic. But yes, we do get them.
But they do come in, and then older folks, when they're coming in, are they coming in solo? Is it more women coming in, more men coming in? When they come in, are they coming in with younger people or by themselves, or what does that look like?
You know, it's a balance of both men and women. And you get the few that will come in with someone because they want to turn them on to the type of books that we sell the majority of. So you do get those, you know, people, older people, and you get some younger people bringing older people in, trying to, you know, show them certain type of books. So it is definitely a balance of men and women, though. Definitely.
That's good to hear. I have not lost hope then that people are reading. So if people have been bad like me and slack on the reading, like right now on the table, I need to read the 1619 Project. I finished.
Wow, yes.
I need to finish The Devil's Half Acre that I started. I need to finish Mercy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been
That's
bad.
a nice selection.
So what are people reading that are coming into Positive Vibes? What are they looking for today? It's not unusual if they open the door and say, hey, Monique, I'm looking for blank.
Sometimes they're looking for the oldest books ever, like 20-year-old books. But anything, of course, up to date, anything by Amanda Gorman, Stacey Abrams, and things as such, but right now our top sellers would be anything by Shahrazad Ali,
Really?
something such as, yes, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman and The Black Woman's Guide, vice versa.
Is she still writing?
It's just those books that are still flowing out.
I heard her
constantly.
on the show 20 years ago, and I'll never forget Miss Monique, because when I interviewed her, I was in the studio, and she made a remark. She says, "Oh, you read the book?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am," whatever. What? This is on the air. She said, "You read the book?" I said, "Yes, ma'am," da-da-da-da-da. About 20 minutes later, she said, "You really read the book?" And that just let me know right then and there that most of the time when people do interviews, they're not reading the people's books.
Right.
So what do they say when they come in the door and they're asking for that book? What do they say to you?
They normally say, well, sometimes they mess up her name. I already know right away. They said, the Black Woman's in there. And I say, The Black Woman's Guide to Understanding the Black Man. Or she has, Are You Still Eating Pork? Things That Your Parents Didn't Tell You. Or Are You Still a Slave? Those are her books.
That's the one. Are You Still a Slave? That's when I interviewed her. That's a black and white cover on it?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yes. But out of her books, the main two are The Black Woman's Guide and The Black Man's Guide.
Well, so I would think that's good, right?
Yes. And to my understanding, even on Amazon, her book is like out of millions of books, number 5,000. So it's a top-selling book. Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness.
Definitely.
Okay, well, that's good to hear. Maybe she'll come out with something new. And what else are people coming in for?
Powernomics, Claude Anderson. His books are fairly old, but people are still looking for particular books, gaining, the knowledge that they're seeking. So these are particular authors that they're looking for. And in the health section, anything by Layla Afrika, the holistic health.
Really?
And things and such. Yes.
I want to know, do you think that the internet has helped? I know at first, Amazon, bookstores, whatever, started out whatever, it's going to do away with the independents and the black owned or whatever. But do you actually think that maybe the internet has helped bookstores, especially independent bookstores?
Definitely. We can tell when something has been mentioned on a YouTube video or something, because then the people will come in looking for that particular book. And we're like, what's going on? And then we'll find out later that there was a video or someone mentioned it, or they mentioned a list of books, and then they'll come searching for them. Indeed. Yes. That helps out tremendously.
That's good to know, because I was one of those that was worried. I was like, what is going to happen to our independents? Because they were there, when you couldn't find these books, and to hear that they are still thriving and surviving. And many times I will read in a national publication about Black-owned bookstores, and I'm always happy that Positive Vibes is always listed.
Yes.
It's
likewise.
Always listed. So let's do some fiction, nonfiction. Just tell us fiction. What are people reading?
Well, like I said, they love Amanda Gordon. We got Stacey. Hidden Figures. They love Hidden Figures is a book. Anything by Tanisi.
Go ahead.
And we have Hidden Figures comes in an adult version, a children's version. Because we sell a particular 85% of a particular type of book. Most of our books are, knowledge filled in the sense of Blackness, if you will. So Me and White Supremacy, that's by Layla Estad. That book is doing well. There's also, let me see, Children of Blood and Bone. In that sense, that's been a really good book. The Miseducation.
Oh, yeah, the staple there. Go ahead. The staple. Go ahead.
Funny enough, The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson is doing very well right now. A lot of people are looking for that book. So another thing is that a lot of people have book clubs. So they read certain books. So those books are kind of coming and going. Opening to Spirit.
They come to you for the books?
Yes. Yes, they come to Positive Vibes.
How wonderful is that? That's awesome. Do you all have a book club?
We do not. We do not. We do not. But we help to supply a lot of people with the books
With
for
the
their
book
book club.
clubs.
So.
And did you mention Ibrahim Kendi? Did you mention him? Is he doing well?
He is. Actually, I think, which books do we have of him? His books do very well, especially during 2020. Right.
And of
I'm
course,
trying to remember.
he writes against racism, and he writes about white privilege and all that's cracked up to be. And
Definitely.
usually those are his subject matters.
Definitely. He also has a version, the anti-racist baby. I believe that one is his, and he has it in the children's version. So yes, his books do very well also.
And in his books, I think, was it the latest one? He's telling white people what to do if they claim, oh, I'm not a racist and I want everybody to get along and, I like black people and, I'm for black people. He actually tells them what they can do because when they sit back and do nothing, that's doing nothing. So I can't think of the name of that last book, but I think that's what that was about, right?
It was definitely. I'm drawing blank on the title of that particular book, but his books do very well. As a matter of fact, we sent out, if I'm not mistaken, his books to one of the credit card companies. They wanted his book to send out to all their insurance people for them to read that particular book by Kendi.
Well, one of my favorite books, which I'm now this old age, I have to read books over and over for them to really sink in. But one of my favorite books is about Eunice Carter. That was the black woman lawyer, and she was in New York City, and she helped bring down the mob, basically. She brought down the mob because she was the one that said, we can't get the mobsters on this, we can't get the mobsters on that, but we can get them on prostitution. And Thomas Dewey listened to her. Of course, later he didn't reward her, but he listened to her. And that's what Lucky Luciano, that she brought him down. That was part of her bringing him. Her work was part of bringing him down. And that story is not told. And there's a book. And I cannot think of the name of the book, but I am mesmerized by that book. And again, her name is Eunice Hunton Carter. And I think that people would probably want to pick up that book and read it. Her own family didn't even know her story. It was like her grandson did some digging one day and he was like, Grandma did what? So
wow. Okay.
Yes, I enjoy that book so much. Let's talk about what books are we buying for the babies?
For the babies, we are getting Amanda Gorman has a book called Change Sings.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's a hardback. It's a nice, beautiful illustrated book. Stacey Abrams has a book called Stacey's Extraordinary Words.
And she writes under different names, and she's writing children's books as well as adult books, right?
Correct. Yes.
She won that primary. I mean, well, she's uncontested in her primary, but we saw last Tuesday in Georgia, they voted, and so she's going to go up against Brian Kemp again. I had a friend that called me, Monique, from Georgia. She said, let me tell you something. She said that whole campaign, all Brian Kemp is saying, we cannot let Stacey Abrams win. I mean, there's no platform. There's no 10-point. We're going to do this. We're going to save the schools. None of that. Just we have to beat Stacey. I mean, she is really shaking things up in Georgia. But yes, she's an author, and people can come to Positive Vibes and get some of her work.
Definitely, and I can appreciate her. Yes.
Exactly. She's a bad mamma jamma, as they used to say. Now, Monique, I'm going to get all in your business. What are some of your favorite reads?
The Alchemist.
Ooh, okay. Why do you like that?
it's a book about wisdom, and it's about your journey and learning your personal legend. And I think all of us can relate to it. It's an old book,
Yeah.
but definitely a book to kind of sit and think about your life and where you're headed. And, it's just a lot of wisdom in the book, and it definitely makes you think.
Excellent. Excellent. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what you were saying earlier about old books or older books are doing very well now.
They are, definitely.
I would not have known
That's
that.
definitely one of my favorites.
Unless you told me that, I would not
Yes.
have known that. Anything else on your
Yes.
personal I love book list?
Sacred Woman, Opening to Spirit, the Willy Lynch Letter and the Making of a Slave. Yeah, I mean, whew, that's a stickler right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Of course, the ISIS papers.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Excellent. Some excellent reads
Yeah.
right there. And,
Definitely.
recently the movie came out about the Williams sisters. King
Okay.
Richard, I think. Yeah, King Richard. Starring Will Smith and talking about Richard Williams and what he did for his girls. And I watched the movie and I was thinking about the book. Richard Williams wrote a book years ago. I think it's called Black and White. I've still got it at the house. And I remember reading that book. And again, I had to read it 2 or 3 times. But I remember reading that book. And then I could sync it with some of the scenes I saw in the movie. Like when the drug dealers would not let them play on the tennis courts in Compton. I remember him writing about that. And I remember him talking about how they would beat him because he was bringing his girls there, and they were like, no, this is our turf. And then one day they're like, okay, old man, you just keep coming back. We see how determined you are. And so then they let him come and they let him do what he had to do for his daughters.
That's awesome.
So people might want to hunt that book down if they are a Williams family fan, or if they're a tennis fan, or even if they're a father, just because what he did was extraordinary. What he did was extraordinary. Okay.
Created legends. Yes.
This man did not have any background in tennis.
Nope.
And he sits down and he writes out this manuscript for not one, but 2 of his daughters. And it comes true. And not only does it come true, like you said, they are legends, but that came out of the brain of Richard Williams. Now, this whole thing about his first family and how he just walked out the door, I'm not down with that part. But, what he has done for Venus and Serena and the way he just taught them, because I remember when they would play each other and the news media would always stick their mics in the face and try to get them to talk against one another, especially if they were playing one another, Monique.
Right.
And they would never do it. Never do. And then they would try to get them to say, derogatory things or not so nice things about their father. They would never do it. Those girls women speak different languages. They have businesses. They have gone to school. They play musical instruments. They speak different languages. It's incredible. It is incredible.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
So that book was entitled Black and White, if you want to check that out. It's because, Monique, it's time to go to the beach. You got to throw the books in the bag. You got to You got to go to the beach with the book bag and sit there and read the books. And I remember even going to Jamaica. That's exactly what I did. You have to always have a book. My mom taught us. You always have a book because you don't know if you're going to get stuck in traffic, whatever. You always have a book. Now, let's talk about positive vibes. Give us the background you want us to know about positive vibes, and then bring us forward and tell us about everything else that's in positive vibes, because it's not just a bookstore.
Well, of course, Brother Brett started Positive Vibes going on 27 years ago. To my understanding, he started selling books out of the trunk of his car. And then Positive Vibes started as a small little building right on Indian River Road. And eventually he moved to a larger space, which is right beside the original space. And in 2020, August of 2020, actually expanded back to the smaller size, including the now larger size altogether. It's like a one-stop cultural shop,
Yes.
if you will, in the community. We have regular customers, people that have been coming there for years, to the point now their children and children's children are coming, generations. So it's absolutely wonderful. Not only do we sell books, there's oils, there's art, there's natural products, there's figurines, and anything from, your Thomas Blackshears to your Holyfield art, and, as people love, your Sugar Shack by Ernie Barnes. There's African artifacts, things from Ghana or Tanzania, all in the store, and it's just absolutely wonderful.
There are musical instruments in there. I mean, it's just
clothing. Yes.
Yeah. And you know what? The clothing has really expanded. The line of clothing has really expanded from the way I remember it when he first started selling the clothing to now.
Right.
It's like, wow, you go, Brett. It's awesome.
Right. I was a customer actually years ago.
What?
Actually over 20 something years ago. And I came in and I was in a calendar, and I came in asking, could I put it in the store? He said, yes, he let me put something in the store. And I was a continual customer from then on, and we became friends. And you'll find that even that, which is another great thing, that sometimes people come in and he allows people to put their products in the store. So not only is he a business, but he has helped contribute to other people starting businesses, which is wonderful. Yes.
He really is a good guy. We're going to keep him.
Right.
And his products, because I only use shea butter. You go to this person, what do you put on your skin? All I put on my skin is shea butter. Okay.
All right.
And I have to come to you all to get my big old tub of creamy shea butter, and I'm happy.
Right.
Because in my mind, I know I've passed these other places that sell it, and I don't even look at the price or whether it's cheaper or whatever, because I'm going to support that bookstore. You have to draw a line in the sand, and it's just some things, you're just not going to go for the okie doke. And I know things are out of hand right now with gas and groceries or whatever, but I'm going to Positive Vibes to get my big old tub of creamy shea butter.
All right. Yeah.
And I am so thankful that it is there. So if you just joined us, I'm speaking with Monique Robinson. We're talking about Positive Vibes. The address is 6220 Indian River Road. Give us your hours and how you can be found on the internet and all that good stuff. What's going on with that?
So Positive Vibes is open Monday through Saturday from 10:30 until 7, and Sundays from 12 to 6. We also have Positive Vibes Virginia on Instagram and a Positive Vibes on Facebook. Our website isn't so up to date, but we're working on that.
Okay.
You're more than welcome to call 757-523-1399, and people do call and actually place in orders over the phone, and we ship them out all over.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Yes, we do.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they call and they want the books, and when they come in, we have them all ready for them. But you're into the shipping business, huh?
Yeah, yeah. And we do. We have books ready for them as well. They'll call and say, "Hey, I'm looking for it," and I'll be there. And I say, "Hey, what's your name?" It'll be waiting for you when you get here.
Yeah.
But we do have regular customers that will drop off anywhere from one book list to up to 30 and 40 books and say, "Hey, I'm looking for this." And I said, "Well, just give me a little bit of time. I'm gonna get them all together for you." And people have been coming for years. So
it really is the most helpful place. I have been looking for this. I don't do the perfumes and all of that, but I'll do the oils. And I had wanted this oil that I had gotten from another Black-owned establishment that I couldn't get to anymore. And I came in there and I found it. I got help. I found it. I walked out happy as a lark. And because it's all about the service and everything, right?
Indeed. Yes. Yes.
Oh, my goodness. We have had the best time. We got about a few more minutes left together. And we're talking with Monique Robinson. She is with Positive Vibes. Positive Vibes is in Virginia Beach. They've been there for 26, going on 27 years, right?
Yes.
And whatever you need. So, Monique, is it true? Did you say that if someone is looking for a book, you can get it for them and get it to them?
We sure can.
Okay.
We sure can.
So you ship all over the world, or you ship USA, or how's that work?
We've actually shipped out of the country as well. Granted, yes, most is right here within the States, but we have shipped out of the country. Yes. I mean, even down for not even just books, we ship art or whatever they're looking for. It could be a tub of shea butter, right. But we'll package it right on up and we'll send it to them. I mean, we have people that specifically only want to get it from Positive Vibes. So indeed, we ship clothes, whatever they need.
Okay. Now, do you think, and this is like you would need a crystal ball to answer this question, so you really can't, but do you think Brother Brett will ever open another location anywhere here in Hampton Roads, or I don't know, across country in California or whatever, or do you think this is it?
He's been asked that question quite often. That would be great. Let's just keep our fingers crossed.
Okay.
But that's, now keep in mind, we also have a sister store.
Oh, okay. Tell me.
So that's Afrikan Arts at Military Circle Mall.
Oh, that's right.
Which and then there's the Toy Co. right beside them. And then there is Afrikan Vibes, which is the kiosk, and they're all located at Military Circle Mall.
At Military Circle Mall. So he has expanded. Yeah. Yep. It's good to know. It's good to know. Before we get out of here, Monique, give us some titles of some of the hottest reads that people are coming in for today and getting reared up for the summertime. What are some of the hottest reads? Go over those lists again.
Wow. Any of the meta netters, let's just say that, by Ra'un Nefer Amen. The Women Love the Sacred Woman. That is a go-to book. The Womb Wisdom, Womb Awakening. Anything by Shahrazad Ali. Amanda Gorman's books are doing very well. And, wow. We also have Yoruba books. They are on the rise. They do very well. Any of your Yoruba books.
Okay. That's it. And once
there's so many, my goodness.
Right. And once again, give out some of your favorites because people might enjoy picking those up.
Of course, like I said, Sacred Woman by Queen Afua, The Alchemist, Layla Africa books, and just had a brain freeze.
That's okay. That's okay. Let me tell you all, you walk into this establishment, and if you have never been, you have to go. So are you going to be open tomorrow, Memorial Day? I guess we need to let people know that or not. Okay. All right.
We are open.
If you're in, not doing anything, you need to pick up some books, especially for your children. You got to get the children reading. So stop by Positive Vibes at 6220 Indian River Road. The number is 757-523-1399. Monique, thank you so much. Once again, give out those social media handles, please.
I thank you. We're at Positive Vibes VA on Instagram and Positive Vibes on Facebook.
And make sure that you go see Miss Monique at Positive Vibes and she will hook you up. Thank you, Monique.
Thank you so much.
All right, so that's another Sunday in the bag. You all take care. Have a safe Memorial Day weekend. Love you, Cheryl. Bye-bye.